This episode is sponsored by The Break Room, downtown's best spot for a hot lunch every business day.
On this episode, WIBW's Jim Ogle, Jared Starkey's Makerspace, OJ Dwyer's South 40 Music Fest, Erin Aldridge's 20 Under 40, and Topeka Pride.
Here on Talk About Topeka, we're here with a great friend of ours. It's Jim Ogle.
I am a good friend.
Well,
we're talking about Jim.
Yeah, we're talking about Jim, you know.
Okay.
The general manager of the WIBW channels. Thanks for joining us, Jim.
It's great to be here with both of you.
Well, it's certainly great to have you here. You know, you came to Topeka. How many years has it been?
8 years.
8 years.
8.5 years now. I came here in April of 2006. And have just loved this community and loved the opportunity to do what it is we do to try to tie this community together by providing great news programming, but also assist so many local organizations. The business ones, we try to help make their businesses grow. The ones that deal with charity and with public service and the like, the arts and everything, we try to help them make their business, if you will, grow as well, have greater success in fundraising and awareness, so that this is a more dynamic and interesting community to be a part of.
It's very true.
And you know, as Jamie was saying, you know, you sit on a lot of boards for a lot of great organizations around town. What is your presence there as the GM of WIBW bring to that board? You know, what does your presence bring?
I really see myself as a connector, because I sit in a lot of discussions. You have a circle like this and a circle like this, and I end up being the overlap between the two.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a Venn diagram.
Well, you're very good. So I'm able to often say, did you guys know that this group is trying to do this? If you talk to this person, we may be able to develop a partnership. I believe in partnerships. I do not believe in Don Quixote tilting at the windmill by himself. I believe that we leverage community assets by working together and to reach out. And even if I don't understand what it is you want to do, I'll likely support you just because you're trying to do something to move us forward as a community. Mm-hmm. I try to connect all the different kinds of people that I come in contact with who are doing one thing over here with the one thing over here and get them together. And that's really the role I think I provide for a lot of these organizations. And, you know, I've had the pleasure, I'm currently, I think, on 34 different boards and commissions and, and the like.
I did not know that number could exist for him.
Yeah.
That is a lot. In fact, we're all on the
Arts Connect together as an example. And one of the things about all of this is that allows me to connect a lot of people with a lot of people. But there's not a board I'm on that I'm not that's part of my audience.
Yeah.
And being engaged, whether it be the Chamber or Arts Connect or Kansas Children's Service League or the Topeka Civic Theater, all of these things are different, but they all talk about the quality of the life that we get to celebrate and enjoy here in Topeka. And all of their success makes all other places more successful as well. And that's what I strive for.
That's true. It is. We are pretty lucky.
Just an example of how this guy does believe in fostering folks within the community to make a project or to do something. It's exactly what happened. It's why you're listening to Talk About Topeka right now, because it was a couple of years ago. You know, we thought let's make, me and Max. We decided we were going to make some videos, and we wanted to put some stuff together to show off some local businesses and such. And we showed it to Jim and said, "What do you think of this?" And
after you laughed, then what did you say?
right?
Never laughed. Never laughed.
I remember he was like, "Well, what are you going to start with?" And I was like, "Well, we're just going to start with a couple of cameras, and we're going to make this. It's going to work." And he said, "Well, why don't we try putting it on the air?" And that was a huge thing. That just it made the project take off grow wings, and here we are. This is what we're doing today. And it wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't have stuck through if it was just a web series. We wouldn't have had that motivation. So just that one little piece and that little fostering the project has really done wonders for us.
You're more than welcome, but I didn't do anything. I did agree to a mindset. And that's a mindset I wish everyone in Topeka would have about everybody else's dreams. That someone says, I have an idea for, say you'll support it. We have a Midwestern tendency in our common sense to now explain to you the 17 reasons why that's a bad idea. You know, we're a small town folk who sit on the porch and will tell you why Bob Johnson's crazy to think he can make that work, and so this and everything like that. Our common sense is a very valuable trait, okay? But when it causes us to not support people on a day-to-day basis, we'll run to their aid in a tragedy or a disaster, and that's wonderful. We'll never have the person screaming that they're being attacked that people don't run to help in this community. But on a day-to-day basis, there are people throughout this community who I have this idea for. I want to try to do this, that I unreservedly support, because those ideas make, if only 1 out of 100 comes to fruition, this community is better off. No-Toe started as a ridiculous idea.
I thought it was.
I thought it was too, yeah.
But it was an idea that we loved and embraced at WIBW because I could certainly see the kind of results we had that potential. I didn't know it was a certainty. And now it seems easy to everybody. It's interesting, people who I, for a fact, remember telling me how stupid it was, who now tell me, I could have told you from the beginning it was a great idea.
Okay.
I shan't remind you about your change in memory. But nevertheless, we need to embrace ideas. You have recently had on, or going to have on, Jared Starkey, who's working on this business development project to create a maker space. And in this maker space, we're going to try and encourage people's ideas that get developed into a business that could change the world. Facebook started in a dorm room.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
There's a wonderful commercial that showed all the first offices of all these web companies.
I've seen that.
Now,
It's really cool.
None of these were corporately driven things from a big company. They were people with a vision and a drive and enthusiasm, and we need to support that and find ways to do so. And so I've told my staff, I want our default answer to be yes. You need to have a reason to say no to a request, and a really good one. And even then, I want you to run it by me. We're the presumptive yes, not the presumptive no.
I love it. You are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us, and we'd love to have you come back and talk to us
Be
some
happy
more
to
about
anytime.
the WIBW channels.
And thank you for everything that WIBW does for the community, continues, and the opportunity
You're more
for us
than
to
welcome.
blab on the air. We really
You're more than welcome. God bless you both for the time and effort you put into this and with the radio show. And again, believe in our future and what we can do. The power of saying yes to other people's dreams is so important.
Absolutely. We're so
I'm going to
glad
be
you
asking
did.
some really good questions coming up in a minute. You'll say yes, okay?
We're with Jared Starkey. You are with PC911, but you've also got another endeavor going on here that you've been working on for quite some time, a makerspace.
Yes, we've been working on, used to go under the name Ad Astra Labs. Was on, I think, about a year ago and talked a little about it. Called it
kind of the beginning, things of that.
We've, as it turns out, if you don't stop working on things, they only get better. So that's.
I've been told that.
that's where we are now. We have, so it was called Ad Astra Labs, and Ad Astra was sort of the club type organization. And what people realized is that, in giving people these tools to build things and make things and putting them in an environment where there's, an education component and, mentorships and things like that.
What are some of the success stories, or some of the biggest things that may have come from makerspaces?
You heard of the 3D Doodler?
Yeah.
The pen that you draw in 3D came out of a makerspace. Have you heard of Tile, the little thing that from your iPhone you can find your keys when they get lost?
Yeah.
Came out of a makerspace. There was on Shark Tank a foldable kayak. Did you see that one?
I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Foldable?
Foldable. It was foldable, and it's watertight. They run.
Works.
It's straight up. It looks like a briefcase, and then it's like the George Jetson thing. You push a button and it unfolds, and you do some straps, and it's a legitimate kayak that you can keep in your back seat. It's foldable. Came out of a makerspace. Everything that you hear about with 3D printing most likely came out of a makerspace, because it's not all right, we're going to get the board together, we're going to have a meeting, and the marketing guys are going to be there, and we're going to come up with this product. It's not this corporate driven thing. It's just people that, man, I've got this idea. I want to make this. And the impetus is not, marketability. The impetus is not profitability. It's, I want to make that thing.
It's like, this needs to exist. How does it happen? There are other people who kind of co-work on this to help.
Exactly.
Everybody has a little something to add to the pot.
And what you're talking about right there is actually the really cool outcome from this type of a space. I don't think that the greatest benefit to Topeka is going to be, this new widget, from Topeka, the video toaster.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be a product. I think the real long-term benefit to the community is going to be that there's going to be a nucleus of young professionals, people that are educated, people that are interested in doing and making. It's going to provide a safe environment to kind of grow that crowd. And I think we're going to be able to, play off of what you see Kansas City and Lawrence and Manhattan doing, is becoming this attractive place for young professionals. Hey, I just got out of college. I'm interested in getting a job somewhere, but my real passion is X. Well, whatever X is, they're going to be able to take it into this space and nurture it and let it grow and get other people who are interested. So it's that culture that I think is going to be the big impact on Topeka.
We'd love to have it. So, well, that's Jared Starkey, PC911, and of course, Ad Astra Labs is the big one coming here with Makerspace in downtown Topeka. So pay attention to those guys. Of course, you're on Facebook. They can find you there.
Yep, there's a big group on Facebook. And if anybody has any questions, my contact info is thrown all over, but don't hesitate to call PC911 or LAMP and call and talk to me. I'd love to answer people's questions and make sure that this is whatever the public wants it to be.
Sure, and you're going to be hearing a lot more of it here as things develop. So thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Really do appreciate it, Jared.
Welcome back to Talk About Topeka, and today we're going to be getting our groove on. We have Mr. Okay, none of that.
I'm trying to do the robot.
No, but that was obnoxious.
Okay.
It's a little overboard. Okay, here we go. We have OJ Dwyer here with us. He's from the South 40 Music Festival, a new festival coming to the area. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's a new festival, one that Topeka hasn't had before. The genre is mostly reggae, although we do have some blues. We have a band from Kansas City, Lawrence, called 3 Round Kata, and they will play some different kind of indie music, kind of stuff like that. And then we have, other than the reggae music, we'll have some funk and blues, sort of James Brown music, closing out the night into 1:30 in the morning.
Now, this is a pretty big deal when you think about what you're doing and what everyone involved here is doing. A new festival. And let's talk a little bit about the event itself,
Yes.
the dates and all the particulars here.
Okay, the event.
Get your pens ready and write this stuff down so you know what we're doing.
Open up your Outlook.
That's right.
Put it on your
Stick it in there.
calendar.
Well, save the date, September the 13th, which is a Saturday. The gates are open at 9 o'clock.
And it should be cooler.
We're hoping it's cooler.
Right, it's
The gates are open
dog
at
days
9
of summer
o'clock.
here.
The vendors will be set up by 10 o'clock to serve the public. Music starts at 12 noon and it goes back to 1:30 a.m. in the morning. There could be camping in the evening. There'll be a special event Friday night for our volunteers and for our vendors. But the music starts rocking and rolling at noon, Saturday, September the 13th. Need to tell you also, it's kid friendly. Children on 12 and under are free. Bring a lawn chair. Bring a fan too, because it'll be hot. As you can see, I'm sweating. Bring a fan and bring a friend. It's $15 prior to the event, $20 at the gate.
We want this to be so successful that other genres of music, say, are able to talk to you folks about how they can bring another element to the Topeka community as far as the music scene goes. So we wish you the best of luck and all the folks involved with the South 40 Music Festival. And we thank you so much, O.J. Dwyer, for joining us here on Talk About Topeka today. And so we will be there. And she's
after
we're
we
gonna
turn
be,
off the
she's gonna do
camera
it in
and
the
after we
groove.
turn off the radio, we'll dance.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
We've got Erin Aldridge, the Development Director of the Boy Scouts of America here in the Jayhawk Area
I'm a
Council.
girl. I'm a girl.
That's okay.
I can't do any of these like trust segments or things you do with Boy Scouts.
You could have been a better What? And you can always volunteer. There are lots of girls.
I know, there are. And
So,
you too.
so check this out. I was at the national meeting last week, and it's all staff members of Boy Scouts of America. There are 7 female Scout executives throughout the country, which is
That's pretty cool.
I mean,
yeah.
it's coming around.
I would think. Who did we have the last time we were here that was from the Boy Scouts?
Ty.
He
Yeah.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
He was
That was good.
really, really great. And he said that he didn't even grow up as a scout. I'm
Nope.
like, that's kind of cool.
Some of our most dedicated people are not Scouters.
That's
which
crazy
is
because my dad
strange,
was like a
but-
scout from like the second he was born. You know,
Yeah,
he's just
that happens,
and
and
it's-
there are some of those too. And
Yeah.
you know, we're just happy to have really good volunteers that really love
Yeah.
helping out youth and youth of all kinds, because we have programs for girls as well when they get to be 13. So
I know. I just found out about that the last time.
Yeah, we
so
were
it's
talking
pretty
about
cool.
that. This
Super
time,
cool.
we want to talk
yeah,
about...
he wants
Right.
to get us on track.
That's right. This is
Sorry.
that's my job. The 20 under 40 awards this year. The honorees have been announced. It's a really great list of folks, and we wanted to talk a little bit about that here on the show. So, how have things been going this year for the whole process?
I can't believe it's here already. That's really where I was at when we got to the selection date. Was wow, that year went really fast. So things are going good. Everything's falling into place. We're excited to have this class of folks being honored, and excited to get to know more about them, because at this point, all we really know is what was submitted on their application and what it says next to their name as far as what they do for a job. And we know there's so much more to our honorees than that. I'm going to put you on the spot, Chris. What did
Please.
it mean to you to be, because you're one of our honorees
Yeah.
from
I think
2010?
it was 2011. It was the second year. Yeah.
2011. So what did it mean to you to get this sort of honor at such a young age?
Because I think it's just, for me, I was just going along on my day-to-day thing. I never had any idea that what I was doing was anything special at all. And then when someone out of the blue kind of says, hey, you belong for this. At first, when I was nominated, I thought, yeah, right. And I'm like, okay, I'll fill the paperwork out. I'll go in there and do that. And then actually to be selected for it was huge, because it meant that there were not only peers that felt that was something that I should receive, but there were people that I really, really respected, who I look upon as more like, in the community, who've really done a lot of work, who were part of that as well. And it meant a lot. It encourages me, and I know a lot of the other folks that I met through the process, because it encourages me to network with them and them to network with us together, and to kind of have there's more people than just ourselves to make this process go. And that was kind of the first real experience I had with other young professionals to celebrate our young professionals in the community. It was great.
Good.
Yeah.
Did I
Good
talk
job.
too much?
No.
Okay, good. Well, it was big. It was big.
I
It felt
know.
good.
It was. It was.
And the whole list of folks who were selected this year is on that at jayhawkcouncil.org/20 under 40. So yeah, check
It's a
that out.
nice mix of great people who are doing awesome things.
Bravo to all of them. So I applause there, and to everyone who was nominated this year. Really a spectacular group of people moving Topeka into the next generation.
Exactly. It's exactly what we need. Thank you so
Great.
much, Erin, for
Thanks,
joining
guys.
us. We have Kim Dougherty and also Dan Brennan joining us from Topeka Pride. How are you?
Great.
And how are you, Gwen? Oh, it's good to see you. Okay. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about Topeka Pride, and I know that this is also an organization. It's not just an event. So tell us about the organization itself and how it came to this.
Sure. Topeka Pride is a group that is focused on celebrating the LGBTQ community in Topeka. And our first goal is to start an annual event that celebrates the LGBTQ community and kind of experiences the culture of Topeka.
Okay, so this is a group of people coming together, wanting to do some things, a little bit differently in Topeka. Do you feel that maybe it's been a long time coming, that this is somewhere you wanted to go?
Yes, Topeka is a inclusive and diverse community, and that's what we're after. We want to celebrate that, and this is how we're going to do it. This isn't a gay pride event, it's a community pride event, and we're wanting to make it that. We want to show that it is.
So it's open to everyone. Everyone can be involved in this.
We're going to have a lot of activities for children. Sidewalk chalk art. We're going to have bouncy houses. We're going to have face painting, henna tattoos, just the works.
And it's taking place in the Noto Arts District.
Yes.
It's coming up here September. What was the date? September 6th, right?
September 6th.
Coming right around the corner.
Yes, from 3 to 8. The outdoor portion. We're going to have indoor from 8 to midnight at Serendipity. So
Oh, that'll be pretty cool. So where's the outdoor area going to be at Noto?
we're closing 2 blocks down of Kansas at North Kansas Avenue, from Norris to Gordon.
It's a good way for people to all, get involved and to realize that this really is a family issue. This is for everyone. And I know we all come from very different backgrounds, but we can all find common ground with the Topeka Pride.
For me, it's really important as a parent of, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old to have a space where we can celebrate everybody and celebrate the culture that is Topeka. And that's why Noto is such a great fit for this event, because we're going to have live performers, we're going to have artists, we're going to have every walk of what Topeka has to offer, and it's going to be a family-friendly place where everybody can come and we can start some of these dialogues about people are different, and that's okay.
Yeah, I think
And
that's
a
great.
lot of other communities within our community are celebrating. We just had India Fest. We have the Fiesta Mexicana every year, and there's a little bit of everybody in this community, and our diversity is what makes us strong in the Topeka community and this country, really, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I went to India Fest. It was great.
Sure it was. We do. We have so many great things that go on in this community, and there is really something for everyone. And I know that on, September 6th, that's when you're having this big, fun event. But what about after that? What does your organization hold for others?
Well, we actually want to build on this event, and we're going to be meeting our group. We got our organization, and we are going to be working on future events. We'll have bowling for equality and other events to raise money for the next year's event, big events.
Yeah.
Kind of a big thing, the Equality House coming into Topeka was kind of a big thing. You guys have some statements to make about that? It's kind of a big deal.
They're actually helping us. They're on the planning board, so we're we're happy to have them. They've actually worked hand in hand with us on a lot of different issues. So.
And they're a great organization that has a far reach outside of the Topeka community with Planting Peace and all the deworming efforts that they've done. And we have a CNN hero that lives right here in Topeka, right across the street from the Westboro Baptist Church in a big rainbow painted house. It's pretty darn cool.
Topeka's kind of been a hotbed for a lot of really amazing domestic partnership things and all that this year. And so Topeka Pride is really a celebration of that. And where we're going to be this time next year, hopefully, is even further to equality.
Yes. And our history in Topeka, of course, with the Brown versus Board of Education decision that happened here, and really we've been a community that's right in the center, literally, of many of these issues and topics. And it's great that you guys are keeping the mission alive here.
All right.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like such a fantastic event. Hopefully there's going to be food there.
Yes.
Yes.
There's going to be lots of vendors of all sorts, merchandise and food. So.
Oh, perfect.
And we're not
Because you're right
charging
in Noto.
anything. Anyone that wants to table at the event, any churches, any community organizations, any food or merchandise vendors are welcome.
And we're covering both bases. The 3 to 8 portion of the event is the family friendly. We're going to have dancing and music and food and kind of all of that. And then after 8 o'clock inside Serendipity is kind of more of the what people think of the traditional drag shows and some adult, more themed entertainment. So we're covering both. We want everybody to feel like they can come and celebrate.
Yeah, no kidding. Whatever part of life you're in, whether you've got the kids at home or you've got the single life and you want to come and do all that fun stuff.
A little something for everybody.
Yeah. Well, good deal. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck with the whole event. And hopefully we can send some volunteers your way.
Yeah.
So get some people involved. Kim Dougherty, and also of course Dan Brennan from Topeka Pride, and of course the event is going on September 6th in Noto, starting at 3 p.m.
Visit talkabouttopeka.com to hear full interviews of all our guests. Connect with us anytime on Facebook and Twitter. Listen live and hear more from Chris and Jamie from 7 to 8 a.m. every weekday on the Big Talker, KMAJ 1440. And keep talking about Topeka.